It was supposed to be just another ordinary day. Two best friends enjoying a warm February afternoon, walking along a scenic hiking trail in a quiet small town.
See, this is the path that we go down. There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
But by nightfall, their families were frantic.
I've had people ask, well, why don't you just stop? I said, stop what? Stop trying to find answers? Stop talking about the girls? Stop what? Well, if it's not making you happy, it's like it goes beyond this. None of this makes me happy.
By the next afternoon, the world would learn their names. Two young girls, full of life and dreams, vanished. An eerie video surfaced. A shadowy figure, a voice saying, "Down the hill."
Guys, down the hill.
And just like that, a small town in Indiana became the center of one of the most haunting mysteries in modern true crime. It took years. Clues were missed. Suspects came and went. And all the while, the man responsible was right there, hiding in plain sight. This is the story of Libby German and Abigail Williams. This is the story of the Delphi Murders. To understand the impact of this case, you first have to know who these girls were. Libby Rose Lynn German, everyone called her Libby, was born on December 27, 2002. She was the kind of girl who made a lasting impression, smart, energetic, and always ready to help others. She played softball, loved photography, and had a natural curiosity about science. But more than anything, she was fearless, a protector, especially when it came to her friends and family. Abigail Joyce Williams, Abby, was born on June 23, 2003. She was artistic and creative, with a deep love for drawing, music, and reading. Abby had a soft, kind heart, and she loved making the people around her smile. She was the type of person who would sit with a friend who was feeling down, just to make sure they knew they weren't alone. Though they had different interests, Abby and Libby were inseparable. Best friends since childhood, they did everything together. That Monday was unseasonably warm, 57 degrees. The girls were excited to spend the day outside. Since school was out, they planned an afternoon adventure at the Monon High Bridge, one of Delphi's most famous landmarks. The bridge was old, built in the late 1800s, but it was a beautiful place, stretching over Deer Creek, a perfect spot for taking photos and enjoying nature. At 1:35 p.m., Kelsey German, Libby's older sister, dropped them off near the entrance to the hiking trail. She watched them walk away, laughing and chatting, with no idea that this would be the last time she ever saw them. At 2:07 p.m., Libby posted a picture to Snapchat. It was Abby, walking across the Monon High Bridge. A simple, peaceful moment. Two friends enjoying the day. But not long after, something changed. At some point on that trail, the girls realized they were not alone. Libby, always quick thinking, reached for her phone and pressed record. And that's when they captured something that would become infamous. A man walking toward them, wearing blue jeans, a navy jacket, and a hoodie, his hands in his pockets, his face blurred and unreadable. Then his voice, "Down the hill." Just 3 words, and after that, silence. By 5:30 p.m., Libby's father arrived to pick them up, but the girls weren't there. Calls to their phones went unanswered. At first, their families thought maybe they lost track of time. Maybe they were still out exploring. But by 6 p.m., panic set in. The search began immediately. Volunteers, police officers, friends, and neighbors combed through the trails, calling out their names. Flashlights cut through the darkness as people searched the bridge, the creek, and the surrounding woods. But there was nothing. No footprints. No signs of them, just an overwhelming feeling that something was very, very wrong. The search continued into the night, and by morning, even more people joined. Then, at noon on February 14th, the worst possible news came. Near the north bank of Deer Creek, just under a mile from the bridge, searchers found 2 bodies. The crime scene was horrifying. To this day, police have never revealed exactly what they found. They never disclosed the cause of death, the condition of the bodies, or the full extent of the evidence. But they did say one thing: this was not random. This was deliberate. Investigators were sure of one thing: the killer had been careful, but he had also made a mistake. Libby's phone had captured him. Now all they had to do was find him. Then, in October 2022, 5 years after the murders, there was a breakthrough. A man named Richard Matthew Allen, a 50-year-old CVS employee who had lived in Delphi for years, was arrested. Allen wasn't a stranger. In fact, he had interacted with many people in the community, even developing photos for Libby's family at the CVS where he worked. And here's the most shocking part. Back in 2017, just days after the murders, Allen had actually come forward to police. He had told them he was on the trail that day, that he had seen the girls, but somehow that information had been overlooked. It wasn't until years later that investigators took another look, and this time they found something damning. An unspent .40 caliber bullet found near the girls' bodies matched Allen's gun. And then another bombshell. While in custody, Allen reportedly confessed to the murders over 60 times. Richard Allen was charged with 2 counts of murder. The case against him was strong. The bullet, his own words, the eerie coincidence of how he had slipped through the cracks for so long. And in 2024, after years of waiting, Abby and Libby's families finally got justice. Richard Allen was convicted and sentenced to 130 years in prison, 65 years for each girl. Abby and Libby's story didn't end in tragedy. Their legacy lives on in the people who love them, in the orange porch lights that shine in their memory, and in the justice that was finally served. What do you think about this case? Let us know in the comments. And if you love true crime stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay safe.